Didier. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you. I'm Defne. It's our first introduction right now, and you will be at our opening. It will be our opening film actually for our
Really?
KORK Film Festival, and
Oh,
I'm
wow.
really excited for that. And
That's really cool.
and it will be for the KORK Festival. It will be our second year, and this is really good. I hope we will see many years and I believe that your film really deserves to be our opening film because it feels so cozy and creepy at the same time. That it's an opening film for the Halloween and also for autumn. So thank you for making this film.
That's great. And thanks for those words. It's first of all, first time I think we are an opening film at a festival, so that's really
Oh,
cool. And the combination of cozy and creepy, I'll take it because yeah, that's cool.
this is what
That's
horror
awesome.
fans want actually. And
Yeah,
thank you for giving that to us.
yeah, yeah.
So I want to know more about you, maybe your education and your background. You're coming from more like a concept artist and VFX and arts fields. And how did you come up with the idea of making a feature film?
Hmm. Yeah, I when I was a young kid, I was always making films with my parents' cameras and with friends, and yeah, I really just enjoyed the creativity that comes with just problem solving and not having a lot of things to just, but the fantasy of when you're young, is the imagination is just
Mhm.
filling in the gaps and everything, and then you show your film to your parents, and you're like, "Ah, yeah, that's cool." But we as kids, we saw the finished product, right? So it's that like what, yeah, it's just that childlike imagination that I guess I've never let go.
Yeah.
And then I was always drawing as a kid too, so that was able to, that sort of combination of things. So I think just naturally I progressed into feeling the most creative, doing like concept art for the film industry. And at the same time, I had the dream to direct my own films and to tell my own stories. So I started to do, besides concept art, doing short films, helping people with music videos,
Yeah.
just trying to like also express creativity still through those lanes. And then ultimately, the feature film, which was my first one,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's I'm planning to do more of that in the future, of course. And I feel that that is personally my most creative, yeah, my best creative outlet to do directing, because I love filmmaking so much and working
Really.
with people. And I realized that that's the thing that really moves my needle the most. Yeah. Hope that
And
answers the question.
no, that was perfect. And I know your lore about Jurassic Park. You were
Oh,
exposed to horror films and fantastic films since you were a child. And um, I don't know, it was more about the Jurassic Park was more about resurrecting long lost animals. And I that was one of our last questions actually, but I really want to know about that. Your story is about witch hunting, and it's coming from medieval times. And is there a relation between resurrecting long lost stories? Maybe that was an inspiration for you. I don't know. Are they related?
yeah. Now you phrase it in that way. I think, I guess it's definitely for me the unnatural meets the natural, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
in Jurassic Park, you meet like real people, real characters with real human issues, and then they meet something that's kind of unnatural, something that's resurrected back. And I think if I examine the films that I really love the most, it's usually has that same kind of
Yes.
construction. And I
Yeah.
guess in my film, I try to portray people in the most realistic way as possible, so that when they come across something unnatural, we don't have like it's not too abstract. It's something we can still relate to, and the things they get involved into is then more real. Especially with like I guess a medieval film, you have to like really sell the idea you are back in that time. So that's that was a big exercise of the film too.
And looking back to your previous works and the films that you worked on, they're mostly sci-fi films, and your other shorts are mostly sci-fi horrors. And it will be not the same question, but maybe closer. I don't know. But how did you come up with the medieval period horror, or how did you come up with that old folk horror? I mean, folk horror subgenre.
Yeah, I think to me, to just start off philosophically here, for me, it's like what medieval films can do is show problems that were from that era. Like there's just a lot of kind of issues in when systems and a culture was like being formed, and with religion and all of those things from that era, and also suspicion of the time of like what people really believed, to me is like also still something modern, unfortunately. Like we still have those ripple effects of those eras, where people suffer from or have like there's still conflict from those kind of things. So it's to me like the medieval problems that we portray are still relevant, and that to me is what I like about like bringing folklore to this era. Yeah.
Yes. And the atmosphere, the set was awesome, really. And as a concept artist, and you have to bring a visual vision for the set and for directing. And how was the pre-production times for you?
Long, I would say, and
it requires a lot of detail, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely did. I would say that the biggest lesson I learned from having worked in the film industry, having worked mostly in pre-production as a concept artist, is that if you plan everything so well and you show up with a plan to the set, it just literally helps you save you so much time for a film like this with a low budget. And we didn't have that many shooting days. It was really important that we were all that everything was very planned out. So what I was able to do with concept art and the drawing skills is to really express a lot of things beforehand. And we went as far as scanning in the set. I remake the set in virtually in Unreal Engine, which is a game engine, which allowed to like really block in scenes. We could be able to like make maps from that virtual environment. I was able to do like overheads to show the actors a lot of things in advance. All of these things that might have been a bit too overplanned ultimately really helped out save quite some time. And then that time I saved was really nice to use working with the actors and really focus on that. Because if it wasn't for that, the storyboards and all that stuff, I would have had to like really dive deep into that on the spot to figure out a lot of things like the shapes and composition of shots and things like that. So it's the planning, and of course worked very hard with the screenwriter Mark Nolkemper on the history, and of course with our history expert, who's also a religion expert and expert in folklore, Arjan Sterke, and there has just been a lot of research that we've did, and yeah, just bringing it all into the right spot. And then with Paula Loos, the production designer, like a lot of mood boards, things like that, to like start all those conversations up. And a lot of props and things were made by hand, because for a film like this, you cannot just buy like a thing. It has to go through the test and the filter of, is this does this fit in this period? Does this fit in the right time? So yeah, everything you bring onto the screen has to pass that test. So
Amazing.
yeah, and then the actors like did a phenomenal job in practicing the language, which our language in the film is a medieval version of Dutch. It's Saxon, so it's we went as far to really give them that dialect, and it really adds to the yeah, feeling and to the realism, if you will, of the movie. Because people just didn't speak modern Dutch in that era. So that was another factor that we had to plan for in advance. It's a lot of planning.
A lot of planning, and
Yeah.
maybe colors. Shout out the colors, maybe because they were really reduced in the film, and I really felt that maybe all the audiences felt that they were really in the medieval times. It was really easy to feel the darkness of those times, so the colors were perfect, and I don't know. And
Yeah. No, the colors was just a really yeah, of course, with the color grading, but in advance, like the lighting of the film and blocking everything out. It's their cinematographer Luke, his companion, the gaffer Mike, did an amazing job with their team to really, yeah, capture that feel and the forest, the moonlight, and in the houses itself, it was. Like you cannot just have light come from all directions. We wanted to make it really look natural, so you don't have a lot to play with in a medieval film. Like it needs to be a fire, or it needs to be a torch, or a candle, or just light that just comes in from a window or something. But that's all you can like play with, and still they were able to like do such artistry with the tools and that kind of limitation.
yes,
So it
so
was really cool to see on set. Yeah.
Perfect. And actresses and the actors and actresses are Frida. She was perfect. I hope, I really wish that she was here with us, but I guess she was really busy today, and she was really good. And how, like, did you know each other before, or did you meet for the film?
Yes, we met through this this project. So yeah, it was just amazing. Right away, I just felt she brought such an interesting aura and perspective to the role. And I remember our first conversation, uh, the ideas he brought to the table. Um, yeah, it was just very interesting, and it's just when you know that that person is that character and you see it in that person, it's like, yeah, that was the first. Yeah, it was like a strike. It was like really clear to me.
Yeah,
And then of course seeing the costume tests and the hair and everything that was done to like let them time travel to that era.
definitely.
Really, and then seeing them on the set, and yeah, just the amount of prep work they've done, and yeah, just everything. And then the performance, of course, which is yeah, another level of acting that it was just
Yeah.
really I was so impressed with how dedicated everyone was and how immersed into the moment. And
We are
yeah,
bewitched.
yeah, no, of course, like for me, first time like actually directing like a story with this length
Mhm.
was scary too for me.
Mhm.
And of course, it's you're juggling a lot of things at the same time, and
Yeah.
um, yeah, it was just I was just very blessed with the talent we got on board for this project. Like that made that job a little bit more easy for me, I would say, to work with people that are so professional
Yeah.
in their skills. So
Definitely. Just like you said, they look like they just like show up from medieval times.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know, for the main actress, of course, when you chose her, and did she add something to her role? Did she like made radical changes for the role that like you see her in? Because she is really suitable. She was really suitable. Just like you said, her hair, her acting, her facial structure, and everything. I maybe this is like a gossip. I don't know, but I really want to know if she changed something for the script for her role. I don't know.
And you mean like for what was originally planned to the
And yes,
screenplay?
yes. And when she came, maybe she added something to her role.
Yeah, no, I think that there was just a lot of ideas spread out through the whole film that when you're on set and certain things that happen, um, yeah, I think that it's just spread out through the whole project of like these little moments. I just had to recall, right? So, but for me, yeah, there was this one moment that I do remember. It's when she had to go through the yeah, when she like has to whip herself with the rope and
Yeah.
like with the pain and um the um the moment like her husband played by Len Leo,
He comes
there's
and
just this yeah there's just this climactical moment um where yeah, he just is chasing her, and she is just feeling so trapped in that household. And he grabs her by her hair, and that's just such an awful situation. But what snaps him out of it is her saying his name in a way that I think came out of the rehearsals where we've tried to rehearse scenes that were not in the movie, such as a scene where they would have met for the first time, or we would play a day where they had like a good day that was like sort of that there was love and that there was a relationship, of course. So knowing that kind of history that we actually had or we had to play that in during the rehearsals before the shoot, but that sort of came back through the ways he said like bag Hiko for like to let her go, the way she spoke his name.
yeah.
Uh, and then the way Len Leo react on that as Hiko to just snap to that moment and to realize
Rats,
what
yeah.
how far they've gone with their relationship and how
Yes.
lost they are and how much of a dark place they ended up in. It's I see that on the screen, and I think those things were really uh, they were evolved from what we saw on paper and then how we were trying to just work to get to that sort of emotional core of what they once were and how they ended up with. So that's like from the top of my mind an example. But yeah, I can guarantee like that there was just spread out through the film many of those kind of moments, those little nuances sometimes, even with the ways someone looks, because there's not a lot of dialogue we wanted to give the characters in the story. We wanted to be very minimal and more expressive, mostly with just facial expressions, like
Yeah.
little micro things. And that's where I would say all the actors, but especially Annika, was so good in to just really portray and do a lot with just this, and
Yeah.
not with anything. And we can still tell the story that way. And I would say it's the most interesting to tell it that way without speaking, of course, because
Yeah.
it just really fits that era. But I also really like it as a way of storytelling, because I'm a very visual storyteller, I would say. So that was just perfect.
Yeah. On the surface, as you said, you can really feel the story, and if you watch the film and know about the backgrounds and story, you feel it again. But yes, on the surface, just with the visual expressions, it's also amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And yes, you are a visual person. You work mostly on the visual fields, and I'm really curious actually about that. Coming back to medieval witch hunting subject, did you choose the subject, or you chose? Or you chose a new field that you can maybe use your VFX VFX abilities in? Maybe I can repeat the question. I don't know, because
No, I think I follow this. I repeat it back to you. So if I choose to specifically do folklore, because
it's okay,
was
storytelling.
able to, because I was able to also use visual effects and those things that are required to do that. Is that the question?
Maybe I can say you chose storytelling, or you chose a new field to use your abilities on the effects area.
Yeah. Um, I would say that with those kind of tools, knowing visual effects and knowing, it's just always helpful to be able to just think in sometimes economically in with if you read certain things, or Mark came up with certain ideas. Like, I always want people to feel free to in the conversations that we're having before anything is made, because just sometimes when in a film it says like, oh, a village with a lot of people, some might say, well, let's put a red stripe through that because we can't afford that, or we cannot get so many people, or we cannot get so many costumes. But just knowing what visual effects can do, or what we could bring to the table to just make that work, or to just come up with smart techniques or smart ways of filming, or showing something versus not showing something, but really making something feel for the audience. Like, there's just a lot you can do there still,
Yeah.
with how you can translate a script into an executional plan. So I think that's been, I guess, was my sort of role, I would say, when we were writing the script, or when Mark was writing the script, I would have to say. But for me, like during those sessions, I was really also thinking, of course, in what can we do, and what skills can I bring from a visual fix point of view to help us just to expand on what is maybe a limitation. And one of the things in within visual effects is matte painting, which is something I've done too. It kind of overlaps with concept art. And I mean, for people who don't know the specific term here, it's like you're extending sets, but you're doing it digitally. So I would say digital matte painting, because in movie history they used to do this with glass and paint. You can look it up. But for us, it was digital matte painting. That was a technique that was super helpful to to really sell that medieval time in when we establish the village or the forest. Like there's a lot of invisible kind of visual effects going on, but there's a lot of visual effects are like hidden in the movie. You're not supposed to know that you're looking at a visual effects is when we have done our job good, well as visual effects artists. But yeah, I would say that was already early on in the when we had the conversations of like, yeah, what is possible versus what's not.
And those Witte Wievens,
Yeah,
they were really good. I don't know
yeah.
if they look like that. If they look like that in the old folk tales, but they were amazing. They mesmerized me. I really wanted to go in the fields and forests. I don't know.
Great. Yeah. This was like such a fun route in pre-production. So I know a lot of concept artists, such as Houston Shark, Gal Brown, Dave Masson, and we were all like sparring with like coming up with what this could look like and why. And it was a whole trajectory that ultimately landed us on this final design. Um, and yeah, it's just it became such a mix of everyone's ideas too, and it really evolved. Uh, but the original folklore is also something you have to take into consideration.
Yeah.
Like these are very female kind of ghosts, is how they are being described, or
Sirens.
witches from the forest, and it's that kind of a thing. And sometimes they are really portrayed very ethereal because they are really associated with the low-hanging fog. So there's all of these aspects we were still trying to put in there, but also I wanted it to be a physical being. So it's something you could actually touch, something that's not a ghost, because I felt it was just more dangerous. That it cannot just go right through you and be like, oh wow, that was one of those. But it's like this one was yeah, just this more creature-ish kind of thing. So we were looking at a lot of animals from forest, like Nordic kind of forest. So the antler kind of shape and things like that. But tree bark, that it kind of feels like it can.
Especially in
Uh,
their most creepy times, they do
yes,
look like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, and it's sort of like they can blend in a tree. So we gave them sort of tree elements too, almost like a camouflage. So if they would stand still in a certain pose, you wouldn't see them because they would look like a tree somehow. And it's sort of the effect we have when we look at deer with antlers. They kind of look like branches or something like that, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So those kind of thoughts we were all like trying to bring into the design. And then Rolf the boy, who I know for a while now, is a good friend too, and he really took it to another level by actually physically building the costume or the prosthetics and the makeup effects to bring the actress that was in that costume, yeah, to transform her literally into this creature, which was a 4 hour long process, I think, with just the makeup, and then 3 hours to get it all off. So
Wow.
those just yeah, sometimes we don't see the creature a lot because it's with fog and all the darkness and
Yes.
which helps
Really, I can
selling
see.
it.
Hmm.
Like we were all on the same page right away that we were gonna really be conservative with how much we show the character and that creature. So it also helps a lot with just the fear of what is that really, and we don't really get to see it fully. But there's so much detail in there to really make it work.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was all like the team did a really great job to get that
Really, it was.
there.
There's
Yeah.
so much to talk about actually in the film, and but I want to know about the film's journey.
Mm.
It's made its first world premiere in Rotterdam International Film Festival, and how was the festivals going so far? And it will be your opening movie, and maybe about what about the other festivals?
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I gotta be honest, like it's been such a long list of festivals. We've been got the privilege to be selected for
Yeah.
festivals I wouldn't really necessarily imagine, like, but really hope for. So yeah, that was just it was just really cool, and we're still like getting selections and now playing in at KORK. So it's just really cool that we got a lot of selections, but also we won a bunch of awards
Yeah.
for the film. All super well deserved for the people that won these awards. Yeah, so it's been really fruitful, I would say, to just capture it all in one word. And we are all like, for everything that happens with the film, super thankful, because it's been a really long journey to get this film made. And I think with every film, and especially with indie film, it's safe to say that it just everyone knows that too, as indie filmmakers, it's just cost so much effort and energy and extra uh, just yeah, wearing so many multiple hats usually, and for everyone too. So that the film got made and that we got it to the finish line was a huge win. Um, and then having our premiere at the IFFR in Rotterdam, and seeing the movie on an IMAX screen,
Wow.
um, that was really huge. And just being able to sit in that room with the crew, but also with my family,
Yeah.
because I am from Rotterdam originally. So
Mhm.
just being in my hometown, and it was also in the cinema that me and my grandma, when I was a young kid, went to a lot. So to me, it was such a full circle moment that it felt I felt very emotional during those days, and also just that people like the film too. Like, you never know, right? It's
Yeah.
you're just showing something you created with a team on for the first time on the big screen. And yeah, it's just a wild ride
Perfect.
to then have that also be received well, and spark good conversations, right? It's been really doing what we were hoping it would do. So yeah.
Wow. Amazing. While everyone was having the creeps while watching the watching it on big screen, and you were getting very emotional, negative thoughts collapsing in the cinema salon. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And are we gonna see the movie in theaters?
Yeah, we were actually in Rotterdam in a theater, like for quite some consecutive days, playing in another local theater. It wasn't necessarily part of a festival, but we have our film is streaming in the Netherlands, but there's also some other countries that we have streaming now in place. So for the US and like the UK and other big chunks of the world, we are still working out a streaming deal. that should hopefully land us on having the film be streamable for people by December. That's currently the last update I can give on that spectrum, but as far as I know, there's not going to be a big cinema release. It's because the film is 16 minutes, 60. So it's because it was part of a initiative by a filmmaker named Martin Koolhoven, who brought young filmmakers together to really push genre film in the Netherlands, and a stage for young filmmakers that are upcoming. And yeah, we were one of those 6 films, but as part of that deal, the movie was also the film was also broadcasted on Dutch television. So we were stuck to that 60-minute format, which is to get a film into theatrical space. That's a bit of a challenge on that one. But the good news is we are working on a new folklore movie.
Oh, really?
That's also based on Dutch folklore.
Wow.
That is going to be 90 minutes.
Oh, it's getting
Sort of
longer.
around that time. So that will be proper feature length that would help us to get it into theaters, and that's the goal with that movie. So that's what we're working hard on right now.
Wow. Okay, you started working on the new film, and it's also about Dutch folklore. Perfect.
Yeah.
I guess the Dutch folklore is very rich in its elements,
Oh
horror
yeah.
elements.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
You will
it's been
grow up.
so helpful to know our folklore expert. Like we became good friends too, and yeah, just the amount of stories that have not been told yet, and especially like in the landscape we're living now with cinema, that a lot of remakes are being made, or a lot of prequels and sequels and things like
Here
that.
in the
It's like,
sun.
yeah, it to me, like just looking at our own country and what kind of stories are somehow like hidden, or like a secret treasure of something that's yeah, that really sparks. So I guess that counts for every country with folklore. Like every country has their own kind of sort of. So yeah, that really has sparked my interest to just do more with that and to explore and keep exploring
It's
those
archaeology
kind
in
of
cinema.
stories. What's that?
It's more like an archaeology in cinema.
Yeah, I would say for sure. Yeah, it's but it's also to me the fun. Like the one we're doing now is one that's not that known as the Witte Wieven, but we can really make it more known with the film, and
That's really important.
therefore, yeah, I would say so.
That's really good. I was gonna ask something, but then I forgot about it. It was about um, it was about your projects. Yes, it was about your future. No. Yes, just like you said, the sequels, prequels are coming, and they all same classic story is always coming in 21st century after COVID, mostly. But that's really good, which is very cool and good. And it was so good to see your touch in this specific film, this witch hunting film. There was a time where Frida was screaming in the forest and swiping away all the medieval men, the men in her village. And that scene was, it really psyched me, actually. That was really cool and fun and good. I don't know. So, yeah, if you continue with period horror movies, folk horror movies, it will be really satisfying to see your touches, your VFX touches in the films. That's why.
Yeah, I mean it's that. Yes, thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's we'll continue on to do what we've been doing, but also learn a lot from previous films and to look for improvements. And I'm always very critical at my work, I would say. So
Oh,
I can always see things that are not that, yeah, you can endlessly keep improving something, right? So it's yeah, I've seen so many times the film, so it gives you a lot of ideas for the next project of what else can we do, or if we have a little bit more budget here, what could we do with the new tools that are there and all of those things. So yeah, I don't know. That's just how I look at those kind of scenes and things. But I also am very proud of what we were able to do with the limitations and things we
yeah.
were dealing with. So yeah, it's a really cool scene, and the scene you describe here is also yeah, such a
Easy.
moment that I saw, and we storyboarded the whole film out and animated the storyboards, and like that's kind of like what I was hoping it would be. And then it's kind of very similar, but also just, yeah, what Annika brought to the table, the cinematography in that moment, and sound design
Oh.
of everything. And but if you would be on set, you would see someone scream in the middle of the forest.
And people just
Um,
watching her.
yeah, and then we had a leaf blower, and it looks so weird when you're on set, like and then the hair, and
But this is how
then
professional you are and the actress were, so that's cool.
yeah, and then we were looking at it. It's like, oh yeah, and then slow motion, the hair, of course, like it yeah, I always love to use some slow motion very spare if we can, for to really capture something that's so interesting to see when time is like slowed down. And of course for the story it makes sense that this is like a really powerful thing to just
Yeah,
see
it was out of
unfold here. Yeah, and the teeth work we had done with the, even like the main characters just have a bit more discolored teeth, because we really wanted to not make it too Hollywood, right? It's like
yes,
we
wow,
really wanted to,
very
right, make
detailed
it
one.
real, even
Mm-hmm.
for the main characters of the film. And I think that just really adds to the raw feeling of everything. So
Wow,
it's yeah, yeah, it's a cool, it's a really cool scene for sure.
it was. And I just another question.
Sure, yeah.
So we talked about your inspirations, but I want to know about how, your inspirations from your own works. Which one of your works inspired you the most for this
Or
Witte Wieven film?
ah,
It's a
it's an interesting
paradoxical
question.
question, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have to think for a second about that one. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like it's yeah. I once did a sort of medieval village painting, um,
Mm.
where I was just trying to capture that feeling, and like little chickens walking on the street, and little mud things here and there. And um, yeah, it's those kind of details, I think, that sort of that I can see still in this film. Um, the kind of props and colors, and the atmosphere. I would say, like, people always say that I have a lot of like atmosphere in my work, and that's something I like to do, as a, not as a stylistic choice, but just because I think it just always helps to separate characters or things, or to just bring that form of uh, yeah, it just gives it always a bit more mood, or yeah, just the atmosphere of it all. Um, yeah, so the way light responds is when it's
Mhm.
very atmospheric. It's like it's a thing. I mean, and kind of an aesthetic that I personally really like. So it's I think that that's just something in my work, I guess, that people have once called out, that I can say that that's also in the film, because it's
Yeah.
the film is always very misty, but it makes sense for the story, right? That's because the Viva are always a little bit there, and like I said, they're associated with the mist, and so it's always misty somewhere. And funny enough, it was like super cold when we were filming, so sometimes like even in the interior scenes when people speak, there's still like that little condensation, or however you call it, a little mist coming there. So the Viva are always there, which is something we realized when we were shooting. Um, I don't know, that's such a detail, but it's just so cool, and it adds to the rawness and the atmosphere of just that
Definitely.
era and that world. That it was just a colder, harsher time, and not so clean.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't like things to be clean. I think that's another thing, just the texture of stuff. I
Yes.
never like things to be perfect or clean. Like when I do artworks and things, I always look for ways to give it texture. So I guess that's another thing that you can say that's in this film, that it might be one of those things.
Yes. And
Interesting question. I have to think
um,
about that one.
but yeah, Hollywood really makes even medieval era clean.
Yeah.
It was not clean. It was it was garbage. But yeah, it was really good in your film. And your second feature film is also folk horror. And do you have something in your mind, maybe another sci-fi movie or another just something, some other genre? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you fancy
Yeah.
about those things? Do you dream about those things?
Yeah. No, I'm simultaneously writing another feature which I'm hoping to make in the US soon. And that's more of a psychological thriller.
Oh.
So, but it's not necessarily in the science fiction space, but it's once again dealing with the natural meeting the unnatural, and we are, in a way, it's a period piece because it takes place in the 90s,
Oh.
and it's the grunge era.
Oh.
It's like Seattle, those kind of like towns and things like that. So
Oh.
it's a cool era, and I'm a big fan of grunge music. So
Oh.
and I grew up in the 90s, so to me that's an
The best era.
it's a really cool role to be in too. So like that's
Must
currently
admit.
where the headspace is as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And you're even
but
wearing Donnie Darko t-shirt.
oh
That
yes, that's
jump
right.
from
Yeah,
the reels, yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I
That's
love
really
Donnie
cool.
Darko. It's really cool. It's yeah, it's just the nostalgia. I'm a very nostalgic person. So I always have really, really deep feelings when it comes to the past, or my own past, or films from certain eras. Like those things are, yeah, really hit me deeply. So it's always something I'm trying to bring into the work too, because it's I really just love as a filmmaker to be uh, to just swim in nostalgia if I can, if a story allows that, right? But it's
That's what we need.
yeah, that's me very personally, but if I can just do that in my work, um, yeah, it just really satisfies me, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's so such a more emotional thing here, right? But just the certain sounds or soundscapes, or just vintage things, or like little relics from the past, and like it really sparks always like a lot of memories and feelings for me. And if I can just bring that to uh, a work, and then in a film, and then when it's on the screen, and like people can feel like connected to that in a way, that's just would be really cool, right? So
Yeah.
It just because I just sometimes just I guess this is where it comes from for me is that uh just like the current times we all go through right now, and as much as I cherish life, it's also that the sometimes things from the past, like and I guess if you would actually time travel back to, for example, the 90s, you would realize um, that like it wasn't a perfect time, of course, and then that's the sort of trap of nostalgia that
Yeah.
it's it's just in your head. It has become
Yes.
very romanticized, right?
Yes. We just look
Um,
at the surface and
yeah, but there are really myths that were so more simple. Like if we're talking about movies here, right? Like going to the VHS store and picking out a film and just like watching that film all over and over again because you had it only for the weekend, and like then bringing it back and then just renting it again, or like that. Just the smell of like popcorn at the VHS store, like things like that, or that's just one example, right? But to me, that kind of simplicity, yeah, it's just really nice. And now we live in a time where we're so oversaturated or exposed with watch this, what, and it's like so many platforms, subscriptions, and
Yeah.
ads and things like that. It's just yeah, for me, I tend to just uh, wanting to crave for more simplicity. And to circle back, that is just what brings happiness and what
Yeah.
I love to bring into my film. So I
Yeah.
guess also medieval movies in a way, like back to the basics, back to a forest or living in huts and things like that. Like it really uh, is a more simplistic way of living, and
Yeah.
there's something refreshing about that. And I think when I watch those kind of films, it really sparks for me. So yeah, that's a little bit about more of a personal association I have with
Yeah.
doing this kind of things. Yeah,
Yeah. We are the 20th century kids and we are just trying to understand the simple, pure happiness. And
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. And I don't know, with the festival, with the KORK festival, our festival, and with other festivals, maybe we are making a little commune of our own, or little community of our own. And I want to thank you for everything. Thank you
Oh,
for sharing
yeah.
everything. And I don't know if you will be able to come to the festival to Istanbul. I don't know, but if you're coming, that would be perfect. And do you want to like say something to your audience that will be amazed by your work in the future, or just add something?
Yeah, no, it's first of all, thanks for having us be part of it, and also in advance, thanks for all the people to have come to our film or watch the screening on the big screen there, because it's just what we made the film for. So watching a film in that way, it's just very it's just how we meant to
Yeah.
have you experience the story, experience the movie, the sound, everything. So I really hope people enjoy, and also hope people really enjoy all the other films and the whole festival. And I really hope to be there in the future. This because I'm all the way in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
At this point, I can't travel anymore because I'm going through a green card application. So
Ah, okay.
it's hard
Of
for
course.
me to like chase the film. But before I started application, I was really trying to do my best to be there in person as well, to really be in the aura with the audience too. And that's something I would definitely miss here. So I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but it's something I always cherish to do, or that I always try to do my best to do, to also answer Q&As or things like that. It's really nice to have that interaction with an audience.
Yeah.
So that if people really still want to have that form, like, yeah, I think we are on social media we have our own thing on Instagram at Witte Wieven Film. And we love to hear any thoughts. We have letterbox too for this film. So yeah, anything that people want to share about the experience, we really like to read it all and really download all the reactions, you know. So
There will be
please let us know how it goes, and if, yeah.
Yeah, we will really feel your presence in the festival, and there will be like pouring reviews for in your letterbox. And thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you for the interview. I really loved the questions, and thanks for the time too. And yeah, I wish you guys have an amazing festival, Ron.
Thank you.